Y'all played the Japanese Dreamcast before the American one came out, and I was playing it too. My dad imported the Japanese Dreamcast with Sonic Adventure.
Sonic, Kyle's birthday's tomorrow. He gets the Japanese Dreamcast.
We would just go to our friend's house, bring it over there, to all of our friends' house. And
there was one friend in particular, and he was just like floored, especially whenever the whale scene came. He was like, "What, dude? I gotta tell my dad to get this game right now. I gotta get it. How can I get a Dreamcast?"
Sega is flexing its newfound muscles with its brand new game system called Dreamcast.
There was so much hope and expectation for Sega and Sonic fans. It was like Sega was finally giving us this 3D Sonic.
Yeah. Whenever the Dreamcast came around, I knew I had to save up money for it, and I would literally be like, "Hey, does Grandma need her mod mode again?" So to make sure we secured our Sega Dreamcast with Sonic Adventure.
Who's next? Someone else.
What's up, everybody? It's your buddy Tyler coming at you with a brand new video here on My Retro Life. And as you can see, we're in a brand new setup here. We got Sean and Brian with me today talking about Sonic Adventure. Guys, 25 years of Sonic Adventure.
It's been a long time. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. But...
So what did y'all think when you first laid eyes on Sonic Adventure?
Well, I actually brought the magazine here with me. This was an issue of EGM from back in 1998 when I first saw it, and obviously the cover.
I remember that issue well.
The cover. I mean, this picture of Sonic here is just used in so much. I mean, we have like the tape here, the games, every iteration of the game just used the same.
Fused VHS.
Yeah.
I remember getting this from a guy who owned a mom and pop shop here in the Houston area. It was called Game Force. Yeah. Did you guys ever go to that?
I didn't go to Game Force. No.
He gave it to me. He goes, "Yeah, these dealers came by, Fuse. Here, just take it."
Oh, wow. That was the first time I saw it in action. But this was the first time, and then I looked in this magazine. I was like, man, this thing is so much further ahead than everything. It really felt like, we were at the beginning of a new era in gaming, because, with the 32-bit and the 64-bit generation, it was like the 3D graphics at the time were just kind of in their infancy. And I feel like with the 128-bit, starting with, Sonic Adventure and Dreamcast, it was like entering into a new era where it was more refined,
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody at that time was looking for like higher polygon counts, higher resolution textures, and like just way better graphics. And because like he was saying, it was in its infancy. Everything still looked really blocky and blurry. And I think whenever we saw Sonic Adventure for the first time, it just kind of, everything looked so clear and
it's because of
like, it looked next gen.
128 bits.
Yeah, that was the key.
Power.
Yeah.
The first time I ever laid eyes on it was at a store called Game Fellas in Austin. I think it probably was that first month that the Dreamcast came out in Japan. So late 1998.
Yeah.
And this guy at Game Fellas had a sign in the window, like on the glass of the window display, and it said, "Rent time with the Sega Dreamcast," or "We have Sega Dreamcast." You could pay like $20 for like an hour or something like that. Yeah, it was crazy.
The guy was making a lot of money probably.
Yeah, I'm sure he's banking on it.
Did he have pictures? They have screenshots in the front desk?
I think so. I believe it was something like that, yeah. Or he actually had it. No, he had it up in the monitors in the front of his store running like a demo or something was going on. And so we did it. We plunked down, or Dad plunked down the money, and we played Sonic Adventure for the first time there, and it was just incredible. That first stage is iconic in Sonic Adventure. I mean,
Emerald Coast?
Emerald Coast, the whale, when it comes out of the ocean, destroys that that bridge that you're on.
Yeah.
I mean, what were your first impressions of that? Because, I mean, I think I actually let out an audible gasp when I first saw it.
Yeah, I want to say I probably did something similar. I just remember, thinking that was the most cinematic thing that I'd seen in a game, because the camera kind of swoops in front of Sonic at that part, and it's kind of zipping around at certain parts whenever the whale's going by, and then of course all the destruction, all the particles that go everywhere, and the water, it's moving. It's like, wow, okay, this is like definitely something else like we have not seen before at all.
Yeah, it just showcased the power of the Dreamcast.
Like right off the bat, within the first
it's just
minute of the stage.
Yeah, they were just making something just super cinematic. They weren't trying to just say, oh yeah, it's Sonic in 3D, but it's like, it kind of just lets you know that they were going to do some crazy stuff with it,
Another thing that really comes to mind with Sonic Adventure is just the music. Jun Sano, right? Is that how you say his name? Oh my gosh, with Crush 40. Yeah. Just amazing guitar work, and just, I mean, I'll put that soundtrack on while I'm driving
Yeah,
I'm
just a couple of days ago.
To this day, 25 years later, that soundtrack is iconic.
It is, yeah. There's a lot of good sounds, and especially considering that it had a lot to live up to from the 8-bit game or the 16-bit games. I mean, there was like Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles, and CD all had great soundtracks.
Yeah, I think he made the exact kind of soundtrack people wanted. Everybody was looking for like a more edgy kind of guitar-driven soundtrack with Sonic, and I think it was just like a new era of like 3D Sonic. They wanted a new sound to go with it. It was like pretty much exactly what people were looking for, and like it's what I was looking for.
It's what I was looking for. Pleasure Castle?
Mm-hmm.
That song in particular is probably my favorite. It evokes these feelings of like Christmas time.
Yeah,
there's something about it that's very like nostalgic and like Christmas. It's got the bells and so I actually used that in the Shenmue video I did on Christmas with Shenmue in 2000. I used that for the atmosphere of Christmas. That's how much it sounds like Christmas. Sonic Adventure introduced the character of Chaos.
Yeah.
He's kind of this antagonist.
Yeah.
Being controlled by Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Eggman. What'd you think of that character?
I mean, there wasn't really much to him. I mean, he didn't really have any lines of dialogue, so he was just kind of there. He was just a tool, basically. But I thought his design was really was really good.
It's like Liquid Terminator.
Kind of, yeah, exactly. And he would shapeshift into different, shapes and sizes. Like, I mean, he would turn into this really epic boss at the end that you fight with Super Sonic.
That boss is epic.
Yeah, that was really awesome. Yeah, I just felt like there was another thing yet they were doing to showcase what the Dreamcast was capable of. Just because it's shape-shifting, like kind of boss that you've never seen anything like that before.
Were y'all sad when they canceled Sonic Extreme on the Saturn?
Oh, yeah.
I even brought a magazine for that, too. I brought a Game Players. This was like, I was so looking forward to this game. I was wanting a 3D Sonic game so bad at that time.
Well, and that's the thing, like Sonic Adventure is it's what was birthed after the cancellation of Sonic Extreme.
Yeah.
And
a lot later,
I think that's why there was so much hope and expectation for Sega and Sonic fans. It was like Sega was finally giving us this 3D Sonic that we'd been asking for years. And, for us Sega faithful, as I put it, it was like, man, Sonic, this is what's going to sell the Dreamcast and keep Sega alive. Because there was this whole thing about like, Sega Saturn failing, all these failures. And once they came out of the gate with Sonic Adventure and it was fantastic and it was a game changer, we really felt like, I mean, I speak for myself, I think I speak for y'all, that Sega was back and Sega was here to stay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I remember whenever we actually showed some of our friends like Sonic Adventure with the Dreamcast, they literally, because we had the Japanese Dreamcast before it came out, maybe about 5 or 6 months before it came out in the US, and we were playing Sonic Adventure like crazy. And we would just go to our friend's house, bring it over there, to all of our friends' house. And
there was one friend in particular, and he was just like floored especially whenever the whale scene came. He was like, "What, dude? I gotta tell my dad to get this game right now. I gotta get a. How can I get a Dreamcast?" I was like, "It's a Japanese only. They're pretty rare, dude." It's like,
Yeah, he literally bought it the day it came out in the U.S.
So y'all played the Japanese Dreamcast before this American one came out, and I was playing it too. My dad imported the Japanese Dreamcast with Sonic Adventure. Actually, we didn't have Sonic Adventure initially. The first games we had were Marvel vs. Capcom. I think that was the very first game. And then I think maybe Virtua Fighter 3. Yeah, TB. Virtua Fighter 3 TB. Yep. And Sonic Adventure followed soon. That's cool that we didn't know each other back then.
No, we didn't.
But we were both playing the Japanese Dreamcast long before most people were here in America.
What's that? Oh my goodness. This can only mean a Japanese Dreamcast. It must be Tyler's 13th birthday. Yeah, that's what it is. Tyler's 13th birthday. And he's got the Dreamcast from Japan with the LCD and everything.
Yeah, we were playing the same games, Sonic Adventure and Virtua Fighter 3. Like those were the only two games that we were playing on the Japanese one. But yeah, we played some demos and stuff like that too. But yeah, those were the main games that we were playing. But yeah, I remember just showing our friends. They were all like super just blown away by it. And yeah, like we were saying, that one friend that saw it, he just bought it as soon as it was available.
There's another funny story about the same guy is that he was kind of had a bad habit of like selling his game systems, pawning them to get money, but he would always make sure that he replenished his Sega Dreamcast with Sonic Adventure. Like every time we'd come over, he's like, "Oh, you sold the Dreamcast again?" And then,
these are all his copies. Yeah. these are every single Sonic Adventure. Maybe y'all can reach and we can kind of set these up here. We have just about every Sonic Adventure that was released in Japan and America collected here. There's even the really rare, I think it's rare, I could be wrong, but the Black Label Sonic Adventure. I didn't even know that existed until our friend Aaron brought that in. Mm-hmm. I'd never seen that.
Yeah, I never seen it.
Let me know in the comments below if that's rare or something. Or actually, it was our friend Seth that's his copy. But because I've never seen it before.
Yeah,
I've never seen that Black Label.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. I didn't even know it existed.
I think out of all the games you have, this one has the best graphics. I don't know.
You should see Sonic 2.
Oh yeah. Did you bring it? No, I don't think it is. Oh yeah.
You didn't bring it.
You guys were all stupefied last night. He didn't die. Look it up there.
Whenever like summertime would come around, we'd mow like our dad's yard and our grandma's yard, and we would be kind of a chore. But whenever the Dreamcast came around, I knew I had to save up money for it. And I would literally be like, "Hey, does Grandma need her lawn mowed again? We can, I was always like thinking maybe we could just go over there at midnight and start putting fertilizer in her yard to get it to grow faster, so we can make sure we secured our Sega Dreamcast with Sonic Adventure."
Yeah. I also remember, that magazine, the EGM magazine. Mm-hmm. I remember that just hearing about it in the Dreamcast for the first time. Bringing it to school for like just weeks, just reading, just keep rereading it. I remember just showing as many kids as possible, like, "Oh man, look, check out the Dreamcast is coming out." Some of those kids actually ended up buying a Dreamcast. Whenever the PS2 came out, I even bought Sonic Adventure 2 after, and Shenmue.
Played many hours of Sonic Adventure 2 after
the Dreamcast we were still playing it all the time, especially whenever
Shenmue especially. Yeah.
I think what was so sad about this release, the Sonic Adventure 2, was that this came out like right when Sega said we're pulling out of the hardware business.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was crazy. It's like you're releasing a brand new Sonic game.
Yeah, I know.
At the same time, you're saying, we're calling it quits. It's over. Game over.
I think the legacy of this game is just the fact that Sonic kind of had a rough time in the mid-'90s to the late '90s. It wasn't until 1999 with the launch of Sonic Adventure 1 on the Dreamcast that we actually first started seeing, the revival of Sonic again. And it was like almost like a do or die kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I feel like if that game wouldn't have come out, or if it would have come out and been bad, it would have been a completely different story, with Sonic now. But now that it came out, it lived up to the hype, and it really just kind of solidified its legacy and Sonic's, momentum moving forward after that.
Can we take a moment to admire the box art here? Box art is fantastic with the kind of like swirl nature. It's like it ties right into the Dreamcast logo, if you ask me. The Dreamcast with the Sega swirl, I think they're going for that with Sonic and his ability to spin like he does.
Yeah.
And right there on the cover there, I just love the way that artwork swirls. He's in a spin dash.
Yeah.
And he's posing in the
middle
of a spin dash. Yeah.
If you really look at it, it looks aesthetically pleasing, but it is a weird pose for sure. It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't, but it's artistic.
Yeah.
Well, this has been awesome, guys. This is really cool, reflecting on Sonic Adventure. 25 years. I can't believe it. That's just insane to me. We're getting old.
Yeah, I know.
We're getting old.
Don't say it.
And on this show, we'll probably say that a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, see, Sonic's getting old. He's already keeling over. I want to thank everybody for watching today. This is a brand new format for the channel. We're filming in kind of a podcast scenario, a little bit different of a setup. And just really want to thank all the viewers, all the commenters, subscribers. It's just been an awesome journey for me, but I'm really excited to bring my friends into the situation here. what do they call it? The
Situation Room.
We're in the Situation Room here. No, but it's really cool, and we're going to have a lot more like stories and different kind of commentary, a lot more voices to come in on this thing called My Retro Life. So appreciate each and every one of you for watching. If this is your first time to the channel, please do consider subscribing. We also have a Patreon for the channel, and what I'm going to be doing is actually putting up the raw video unedited of these sort of podcast videos that we do on Patreon. So if you want to go ahead and join over there, help support the channel, you'll get raw unedited footage. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll catch you next time.
All right, take care.
We all know, though, that the MVP of Sonic Adventure is Big the Cat.
No, it's not. It's E102 Gamma. No,
Yeah, I know. I know.
Amy Rose.
oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.